People have been hitting the streets in this car ever since 2001, the Mini 3-door hatch. And during its existence, it has been constantly enhanced. It's sportier and more refined than ever before, and still retaining that typical Mini character. So, let's take a look at all the features. What we notice about the front of the Cooper S immediately is its muscular aesthetic, and the wheel arch is in keeping with the Mini. The sporty honeycomb structure of the grille is equipped with a seamless chrome frame, and the front bumper is embedded within it. The biggest factors when it comes to identifying a Cooper S is the chrome blade and the S logo on the grille. The air intake openings below are wide and flat. The brake cooling ducts encased within the front spoiler are typical of the Cooper S. All these visible horizontal lines help to underscore the velocity of this Mini. When we take a look at the Mini 3-door hatch from the side, you can clearly see a sports thoroughbred through and through. The wheelbase is longer and the entire vehicle is larger in its third generation, but thanks to its small overhangs, the Mini remains as compact and agile as ever before. The windscreen and rear window are set at a flatter angle than previous models, highlighting the car's compact size and sportiness even more. And the same can be found at the rear. All the design elements are positioned to the side, making the rear of the Mini hatch look wide, and in turn, sporty. The wide tail lamps with chrome edges that run up to the tailgate further emphasize the lean design. This lends the rear of the car qualities of strength and power. Its rear bumper with dual tailpipes and the optional John Cooper Works specific spoiler perfectly complement the sporty nature of the Cooper S. Well, there's no doubt that the Mini is sporty, but what about the technical innovations inside? Let's take a look. The Mini Connected app is essentially an extension of your car. What does that mean? You can access an abundance of relevant information about the car via the app. For instance, how full is the tank, or where the car is parked. Another thing that's extremely handy is that you can use Mini Connected to plan your route before even setting off. You can start it on the way to the car and simply transfer the data to it when you get inside. The data is already loading into the system. It's that easy. The monitor displays your route, and all you have to do is press the start button. No time wasted. And as for the inside, the interior is right up to par with the exterior. The seats feature a new design. Their side support is excellent, as you would expect from a go-kart. Sit low and in total comfort, with plenty of head and leg space, making long journeys more enjoyable than ever before. As for design, the round shapes, typical of Mini, which you find everywhere in the interior, have now been enhanced with taut surfaces and even more striking edges. The steering wheel and everything that surrounds you in this cockpit has an absolutely high-quality feel to it, something that you've come to expect from Mini. Although the interior is eye-catching, your eyes need to stay on the road, and the new optional head-up display can help. It projects important information directly into your line of vision: speed, navigation, or the current entertainment status. For a car of this class, the head-up display is a true innovation, setting a new standard in terms of comfort and safety. In comparison to other cars in its field, the Mini raises the bar extremely high when it comes to safety. Pedestrian and collision warnings, or the automatic distance warning that monitors the distance to the car in front of you, are just a few of the highlights. Head-up display, safety assistance. The Mini 5-door hatch naturally offers all of this too. It's a typical Mini through and through, which can also be seen in the front of the car. It also has the characteristic bonnet scoop and the sporty, strong side skirts. And just like with the 3-door model, it has the seamless chrome-framed grille, including the front bumper. Looking at the rear, you immediately notice the typical Mini sportiness. The rear of the 5-door model is just as wide and powerful with a horizontal design, so it gives off the same sporty statement as the 3-door model. After talking about everything that the two have in common, we now come to their biggest difference. Let's take a look at the side. The additional doors and the larger interior make the 5-door model about 16 centimeters longer than its 3-door brother, giving it a 7 centimeter longer wheelbase. The spacious interior accentuates the increase in the vehicle's size. Getting into the back seat of a mini hatch has never been easier. There's more headspace, space for shoulders, legs and elbows, so that 3 people can comfortably take a seat in the back. And when one of the 3 wants to take his smartphone out of his pocket to supply some music, then he's got the space to do so. His own playlist can easily be connected to the onboard system in the Mini via USB and immediately played with an optional Harman Kardon sound system. To wrap it up, you could say the Mini Hatch is the most exclusive go-kart for any city, whether you choose a 3 or 5-door model. Both feature a progressive design. The horizontal style elements let both the 3 and 5-door model appear strong and determined. The Mini wants to push ahead. Have a good one.
Hello, I'm Tori, your MB reporter, and today we're reporting from the beautiful city of Dresden, which we're going to explore with the brand new generation A-Class from Mercedes-Benz. According to the big boys and girls at Mercedes, this car is even more sporty and, rather conflictingly, more comfortable than before. The exterior design puts even more emphasis on that sporty, dynamic orientation. Just take a look at the front bumper. It's more arrow-shaped, a little bit like we saw in the concept A-Class back in 2011. That, in turn, makes the radiator grille stand out even more prominently in the light. The car can adapt to your style of driving just at the touch of a button, and there's a whole lot of new generation tech on board. With Dynamic Select, the driver is able to change the characteristics in a matter of seconds. At the touch of a button, the car is either more comfortable, more sporty, or drives in a more efficient manner. In combination with the optional new suspension system with adaptive dampening, the car allows for a particularly broad range of setting options. It's actually quite the little brainiac, because acceleration sensors are used to measure the car's movements. Other information is also gathered, such as steering angles. This is all then calculated, and that's how it decides the characteristics of the dampening system. In fact, the car is probably a better driver than me. But don't tell anyone that. Talking about innovation, the new generation telematics are being introduced into the A-Class. Operation is now even more intuitive, with the functions accompanied by animated menus and visual depictions on the even larger display in the head unit. This is the Euro Speedway Lausitz, one that speed freaks will definitely be familiar with. Among other series, it annually sees the DTM and World Superbike Championship take place. It also has another feature that sets it apart from any other European racetrack. It has the only oval high-speed track, a little bit like those that you'll see in the US for NASCAR or IndyCar racing. Now this is the brand new Mercedes-AMG A45 Formatic. The new entry-level model from Mercedes-AMG is the world's most powerful compact car, boasting 381 horsepower. It also has revised gear ratios, has been aerodynamically fine-tuned, and features the new Dynamic Select driving system. So apparently this little beauty is pretty quick off the mark. And there's only one way to test that. So as well as the oval, this track does have a few hairy corners, and the car handles really well. In fact, it almost feels like it's got a magnetic connection to the road. The Mercedes-AMG A45 Formatic is equipped with the Dynamic Select driving modes: Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus and Individual, which are familiar with the likes of Mercedes-AMG GT sports car. As a new optional feature, the AMG Dynamic Plus package includes a mechanical front axle lock-in differential, the AMG Ride Control sport suspension with adaptive dampening, and the 5th Dynamic Select driving mode, Race. So that's all from the new generation A-Class. If you fancy a closer look, keep your eyes peeled because they'll be coming to a showroom near you very shortly. Now, while I've got the track to myself, I may give the AMG another spin. I'll see you soon.
Hello, I'm Amanda Stretton. It's got an exceptionally luxurious look and feel, both inside and out. Not me, it's the new C-Class. This time on MB Reporter, I've come to Marseille to check it out. With a really beautiful, inspirational design, this car also comes with a new line in concepts and personalisation options. For example, the star can either be on or over the grille. Inside, many of the design features remind me a lot of the new S-Class, and I love these Bowmister speakers because aside from looking great, they also produce great sound, and they are an option. I also love the leather and the stitching. That reminds me of an expensive handbag, but without a doubt the standout feature is the heads-up display system and navigation of it using this little mouse down here, because there's minimal distraction whilst you're driving and it's really simple to use. It comes with a whole host of safety features and state-of-the-art assistance systems, many of which made their world debut just a few months ago with the new S and E-Class. So it's fair to say that if you didn't know better, you'd be forgiven for thinking you'd moved up a class. I love the optional LED intelligent headlight system because, as well as being directional, what it actually means is you're effectively driving on high beam at night, but cameras located up here will detect vehicles up ahead and effectively cast a shadow around them, so you get to benefit from the main beam headlight, but any drivers up ahead don't get inconvenienced. Collision Prevention Assist Plus, Attention Assist and Adaptive Braking all come as standard, but options include Distronic Plus, Lane Assist and this awesome 360-degree camera. The chassis of the new C-Class combines outstanding suspension and handling characteristics, and that's thanks in part to redesigned front and rear axles, but also, and for the first time in this segment, air suspension is available. Again, individualization is possible with Agility Select, and that's the button here, because as well as the 4 preset driving options, that's Eco, Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus, you've also got the option to individualize the ride, and that can be to your own specific tastes and requirements. For me, smooth steering, but with a sporty feel to the suspension. So, how would I describe this car? Well, luxury and refinement are clear in all aspects. So much of this car has come directly from the S-Class after all. And it is, in my opinion, the start of another chapter in the truly successful 32-year history of the C-Class.
Full beam all the time. IntelliLux LED matrix headlights significantly improve visibility to make driving at night safer than ever before. The LED matrix system is far superior to halogen and xenon headlights and detects objects up to 40 meters earlier to give you more time to react. It lights up every bend extremely accurately. Individually operated LED elements with a reach of over 350 meters react to surroundings in milliseconds. If your lights detect another vehicle, the high beam automatically cuts out around it to avoid dazzling other drivers. The benefit? You enjoy high beam visibility and perfectly lit roads at all times. IntelliLux thinks for itself and adapts your headlights to your driving style and speed. The IntelliLux LED matrix headlights see driving in a new light. 7 out of 10 people regularly suffer from back pain. The Astra takes care of your back every time you drive. The seat was awarded with the German Campaign for Healthier Backs Quality Seal. The driver's seat adapts perfectly to your body and your height. From now on, long journeys will be relaxing. Stay refreshed when it's warm, or warm when it's not, front and back. A touch of a button, and your seat returns to your preferred position. Transform your car into a wellness lounge with a choice of scents. Astra. You'll never want to get out again.
I've been driving Vauxhall Astras for over 10 years, so I'm going to do my best to answer some of the day-to-day questions so that you can make a more informed decision about whether this is the right car for you. The Astra doesn't come with a CD player as standard. You can get one if you want, but what takes its place is actually much better, I think. You see, you can pair your phone to the car using Bluetooth or a USB cable, and then you can access it through the touchscreen on the centre panel here, or the controls on the steering wheel. So it gives you access to things like contacts, music, hands-free talking, and also some apps like Spotify or Maps. Maps brings sat-nav to your car, and you can get Vauxhall OnStar. On the dashboard you'll find useful information such as tyre pressure, oil life and fuel economy. This car will do upwards of 50 miles a gallon, so that means that in real terms I can fill the tank for about £50 and get a range of between 400 to 500 miles depending on how I drive. One of the things that I absolutely love, and it's historic throughout Astra, is that you just don't get a bad back driving it. I can drive just a few miles in a friend's car and my back starts to ache, but with Astra that just doesn't happen. The seats have been really well designed and some of them are even certified by the Campaign for Healthier Backs. So if you do a lot of driving and comfort is important to you, then the Astra is a really great choice. One thing everyone wants to know when buying a new car is how big the boot is. Now it's fair enough telling us in litres, but to give you a proper example, you can easily fit a family-sized shop, your suitcases to go on holiday, or your pushchair and baby things. And if you need extra space, you can put the seats down. The Astra doesn't come with a spare tyre as standard, but that's okay because it means you've got more boot space and slightly better fuel economy. Instead, you've got this tyre inflation kit. It's really, really easy to use and you don't need a jack. You just plug this into the cigarette lighter. This glue sprays inside the tyre as it's inflating and that should keep you going for about 70 miles. You can order a spare tyre with your new car if you want, but if space is a consideration then you might just want to stick with the kit. I hope I've answered some of your day-to-day questions. I've talked about a lot of the features of this car, but for me, the best thing about it is the way that it drives. You should experience it for yourself, so book yourself into your local Vauxhall retailer for a test drive.